saw this over a decade ago. You're a rather young guy. What was the mission set at your early 20s of wanting to go take on such a big path?
Big path, pun intended. I would say the mission set was, I mean, we just realized early on. I mean, luckily, I'm from Northern California, and so I'm from the Bay Area, and in San Francisco, you can kind of see a lot of trends, global trends stemming out of San Francisco. So when we realized that in 2014, San Francisco banned the sale of single-use plastic bottles on public property, we're like, okay, this is kind of like, it was like a light bulb moment. Like we had already thought of the idea. We were already building our business plan, doing market research, getting suppliers on board, all of the things. But that was like a really, exciting moment to have realized that. Similarly, in 2008, San Francisco banned plastic bags. And then 2014, California banned plastic bags. And then over the years, you started to see cities, states, countries completely eliminating plastic bags. So again, it's kind of like a leading indicator that we were able to identify, because you can want to solve the biggest problems in the world, right? And you can be all juiced and excited about it. But the reality is that if you don't have an idea that makes sense from a business standpoint, then you're only going to go so far before it just doesn't work. So it's got to work. It's got to make sense. And luckily, having a background of finance and entrepreneurship from a very early age, and just really nerding out about that stuff, it just really like interested me. I think really helped in establishing a business and knowing where to take it. Um, and so, yeah, I think it's really important to have that fundamental kind of knowledge before going into a venture, or you can learn it along the way, But that really served us early on.
Shadi, you're talking about such a massive TAM, right? You're getting a huge B2B, a massive D2C. You're in every gas station I've ever been to my entire life. You're probably hitting a global market. When starting a venture out like this, it can be somewhat intimidating to knowing where to start, right? Obviously, you first build your first MVP. Now you need to go talk to your first handful of customers. How does one get started with something this big?
Yeah. So bottled water is actually, you hit the nail on the head. It's the largest TAM. It's the largest category in all of consumer in history. It's a $350 billion global industry. So it is a massive TAM. And I think one of the superpowers of a new entrepreneur is the ability to be naive. And it's a little bit cliche, right? But it's like, if I talked to everyone in the beverage industry before starting this, I would have probably heard, if I talked to 1,000 people, I probably would have heard 1,000 reasons why this is not going to work, why it's super difficult, because it is super extremely difficult, right? And I've seen a lot of my peers fall to the wayside, like, like some other beverage brands or food brands or just consumer brands just not make it, because it takes a lot of, all of those things that you hear entrepreneurs having to go through. I think early on, like, it was just, what I learned very quickly was that sales can be really the solution for so many things. If you have sales in a business, even if it's pre-sales, like even if you just have demand or you're able to show it on a piece of paper, get a napkin, right? Hey, I will buy your product, sign here, X line. Just being able to show that creates a lot of confidence and can also solve for a lot of issues. Whether you're fundraising, whether you're looking for suppliers, partners, manufacturers, whoever it may be, getting that early traction can really be pivotal. So the ability to sell, I think, is also, it's something that I honestly wasn't extremely good at going into it. And I had to like learn and read books, and I'm still doing it. I'm still learning every single day. I'm reading Mastering the Art of Selling right now, by Tom Hopkins, which is like an OG book. Really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I like to say I'm a sales and marketing guy mastering myself in private equity today. And, I've had a sales hat on for a very long time. So I probably play the opposite skill sets that you have. One thing I like to always do in starting any business is I always like to test lead demand first before I start any company. And a good way that you can do that is you reference this as test demand, put a landing page out there, run some paid, see what happens.